Hello, everybody, and welcome to this month's episode of the Butterfly Princess Travel Lounge. This month, I'm taking you on a virtual tour of the country of Cyprus. Oh, here goes. The capital of Cyprus is a city named Nicosia. History of the country. So, because of its the location where Cyprus is located, it's actually located at a crossroads of between three continents, and these three continents include Europe, Asia, and Africa. Due to this reason, Cyprus was part of many different ancient civilizations. So from about the year 800 BC to the year 330 AD, Cyprus was ruled by the Assyrian, Persians, and Roman empires. And then when we move forward to the year 330 AD, and we continue right through to for 800 years, Cyprus was part of the Byzantine Empire, so it was ruled by the Byzantine. So it went into the hands of the Assyrian, Persians, and Romans, and then after that, for a period of 800 years, it went under the rule of the Byzantine Empire. Because of this, Cyprus changed hands many times again until eventually being taken over by the Ottoman Turks in the year of 1878. Then Great Britain came along, GB came along, and took over the island, making it a crown colony of Britain. But until, of course, in the year of 1960, Cyprus gained its own independence from Britain. This means that it was allowed to run as an independent state. And starting from the year of 1974, the country of Cyprus has been divided into two sections due to different factions not getting along. This is to do with the Greek Turks and the Greek Cypriots and the Turkish Cypriots. So they both of them groups of people occupy different sections of the country. So for example, so you have the Republic of Cyprus occupies the southern 2/3 of Cyprus. So that is where the Greek Cypriots occupy, and then on the other hand, you've got the Turkish Cypriots, and they occupy the northern side of Cyprus, and they occupy about a third of that region. So we've mentioned this about it having a complex history with various empires. It was settled by early hunter-gatherers, and the development of the Bronze Age society to periods of rulers by the Assyrians, Egyptians, Persians, and Romans and Ottomans. So here are some key periods during the history of the country of Cyprus. So the island was settled as early as 13,000 years ago, with farming settlements enlarging became a bigger part of the land later on. During the late Bronze Age, this saw the development of sophisticated urban societies, and Cyprus was known as the Assyrian, Maccabean Greek settlements, and influence followed. Cyprus were ruled by various empires, which we've already discussed. We then move on to the Roman and Byzantine period. This was when Cyprus became a Roman province that was ruled under the Roman Empire, that rule was later transferred and handed over to the Byzantine Empire. We then move to the Crusader and Venetian rule. This was a time where the country of Cyprus was conquered by the English king known as Richard I. His nickname was Richard the Lionheart in the year 1191, and this is how it later came under Venetian rule. So the Ottoman Empire gained control of the land of Cyprus in the year of 1571, and the country remained under Ottoman rule for a period of 300 years, well over 300 years. We then move on to the time of British rule. So Britain took over the rulership of Cyprus in the year of 1878. It became a crown colony of Britain in the year of 1925. But of course, after that time, Cyprus then was able to gain independence. This happened in the year of 1960, but there were many conflicts that followed this period of independence between the Greek and Turkish communities, and this led to the establishment of the United Nations peacekeeping force in a 10-year period in 1964. 10 years later, in the year of 1974, the country of Turkey invaded the northern third of the island, and this in turn led to it being divided. So this is how it ended up with both the Turkish Cypriots and the Greek Cypriots occupying different regions of the country. So contemporary Cyprus now. So the country now is known as the Republic of Cyprus. And it is a country that exists in the southern part of the island. The Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus is also recognised only by Turkey and exists in the north. And the island has also been a member of the EU since the year of 2004. So I've got some facts about Cyprus now. So, look, the oldest wine in the world is made in Cyprus. On a visit to Cyprus, you must try a local wine. This wine dates back to before 2000 BC and was a favourite of King Richard the Lionheart. It had a delicious textural taste, and it also had a very high alcoholic content. Mark Antony once gave Cyprus as a gift to Cleopatra. So we all know the famous story of the famous love story between Marcus Aurelius, Mark Antony, and the last pharaoh queen of ancient Egypt, Cleopatra. So The reason why Mark Antony probably gifted Cyprus as a gift to Cleopatra was because of where it was location. It was ideally located, and this was probably a very strategical spot. There is a village within Cyprus that is thought to have been visited by a very famous artist, Leonardo da Vinci. It is said that Leonardo da Vinci visited this village in the 15th century to buy lace for the altar of Milan Cathedral. Due to its rich history, there have been many successful archaeological excavations in Europe, in Cyprus, and evidence of perfume manufacture actually dating back to the Bronze Age is actually one of the many different finds that were discovered. The famous Cypriot halloumi cheese actually dates back to the medieval Byzantine Empire. So if you've ever tried a halloumi cheese, it's meant to be very delicious. It's not been recently invented. It was mentioned in an Egyptian cookbook dating back to the 14th century. Cyprus was the first country in the world to have its own flag. Before Cyprus included it on the map, no other country had done this. So I don't know if you can see it a bit from behind me, but it has like it's a white background with an orange maple leaf. That's sort of a representation of the map, and then you have the green olive leaf. And the last fact, Cyprus has the cleanest beaches in all of Europe. Cyprus are the cleanest of beaches in all of Europe and have held this title for over a decade. 99.1% of all bathing waters on the island have been classed as excellent quality. The currency of the Cyprus, so since the 1st of January 2008, the currency of Cyprus, the official currency of the Republic of Cyprus, has been the euro. This currency replaced the Cypriot pound, that was also known as the lira. So, and it's also important to realise to know that if you're planning on going on a holiday to Cyprus and you've got some Cypriot pounds lying about, you can still use them. You can still take them to a bank where they will be converted to the euro. And that was the case right up until the 31st of December 2017. However, the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus is recognised by Turkey as an independent state and uses the Turkish lira as its currency. So if you were to travel and visit the northern part of Cyprus, then they don't use the euro as the currency in that region. They still use the Turkish lira. So I've got some about geography now. So the country of Cyprus lies about 40 miles. That is equivalent to 65 kilometers south of the country of Turkey, 600 miles, 100 kilometers west of the country of Syria, and 80 miles in 770 kilometres southwest of the mainland of the country of Greece. Right, so it is the third largest Mediterranean, followed by only two others, and they are the island of Sicily and Sardinia. The rugged island of Cyprus looks like a bit of a saucepan that you cook things in, with the handle extending northward from the main part. The general pattern of it is roughly 400 miles, 604 coastline is indented and rocky with long sandy beaches, with some mountains, the western portion of it, which is also known as the Pogostic for its five-figured part. So it's another important geographical feature of the country of Cyprus is a mountain range known as the Troodos Mountains, and these are located in the south and southwest area of the country, and is a great interest to geologists and people who study geology, who have concluded that the range made up of rock was formed from molten rock beneath the deep ocean that was once separated the continents of Eurasia and Afro-Albia. So there's a bit of geography. So it shares a border now with the following countries. It is a country that is located in the southern western region of the continent of Europe. But having said that, Cyprus is ideally located in the western region of the continent of Asia. So Cyprus has also a mild temperature climate with wetter and colder winters and hot and dry summers. It is slightly smaller in size than the state of the US island of Puerto Rico, or a bit less than 3 times the size of Rhode Island, or about half the size of Fiji or Slovenia, or 10 times smaller of the country of Portugal. Now, because Cyprus is actually a country that is an island, it doesn't have land borders with any other countries. It does share maritime borders with several neighbouring countries such as Turkey to the north, Syria and Lebanon to the east, and Israel and southwest East Egypt to the south, and the country of Greece to the west. Turkey is actually located to the north of the country of Cyprus. This is a very short distance away. Syria and Lebanon are located to the east of Cyprus. Israel is located to the southeast of Cyprus. Egypt is located to the south of Cyprus. And Greece and the Greek island of Crete is located to the west of the country of Cyprus. So here's a bit more about the climate of of Cyprus. So it has a Mediterranean climate, and this means it's characterised by hot and dry summers and mild and rainy winters. Summers are typically from mid May to mid October. There is an average summer temperature of above 30 degrees and minimum rainfall. Winters are from November to mid March, and milder with rainfall, and snow is possible in the Troodos Mountains. So summers, right. So winters, mild and wet with average temperatures around the 17 degrees mark. The coldest month is January, with average daily maximum temperatures of around 16 degrees. Rainfall is more frequent in the winter months, particularly in the months of December and January, with the highest average rainfall in the western mountainous region. Snow is also common in the Troodos Mountains during winter, sometimes even before Christmas. So don't be surprised if you experience a white Christmas most of the time in Cyprus. The months of spring and autumn now. These seasons of the seasons of spring and autumn are short and transition between hot summers and mild winters. Temperatures are generally pleasant during this time, with average temperatures around 25 degrees in the season of spring. Sunshine. So Cyprus is a country that enjoys abundant amounts of sunshine throughout the years. There is an average of 11.5 hours per day during the summer months, and 6 hours per day in December and January. Rainfall. Rainfall is mostly concentrated in the winter months, with the wettest months being between the months of December, January and February. The driest months in Cyprus are the months of July, August and September. So the government and the economy of Cyprus. So very important parts of the economy of Cyprus are services that include tourism, manufacturing and construction. The Greek region of Cyprus produces a lot of food and produces cement, cigarettes, wine and vehicles, while Turkish Cyprus also produce mainly a lot of clothing. Farms in both the areas, so farms within the Greek regions and the Turkish regions also grow a lot of citrus fruits and potatoes. So I couldn't find much up-to-date information about the trading partners. I could only find who their most important trading partners are in the year of 2022. So these most popular main trading partners in the year of 2022 for the Cyprus include the countries that include Hong Kong, China, Lebanon, Greece, Libya, and the UK. For imports, the top partners were Greece, Italy, China, and Israel, and these all relate to the year of 2022. So here I've got a few numbers here. So top export partners for China, for Cyprus in the year of 2022. So Hong Kong actually had a 0.82% share of total exports. Followed China had 33.43% of total exports. Lebanon had a number of 6.71% of total exports. Greece had 96% of total exports. Libya had 5.2% of total exports. And the UK had 5.6% of total exports. Other countries included Lebanon, who had a 5.2% share, Israel, who had a 5.17% share, 7% share. United Emirates had a 3.66% share, and the Marshall Islands had a 3.53% share. So we also move on to top import partners. This again relates to the year 2022. So Greece had a 23.39% share. Italy had a 10.49% share. China 7.96% share. Israel 7.40% share. Germany 3.21% share. Other countries included the United Kingdom, who had a 5.63% share. The Marshall Islands, who had a 5.79% share. Lebanon, who had a 4.43% share, and Hong Kong, who had a 3.43% share. But it's also important to know that Cyprus has a diverse range of trading partners, as we've already discussed, with specific trade flowing from both European and with Pacific trade flowing from both the countries of Europe and Asia. Right, so the people of Cyprus now. So as we've already discussed, due to tensions, it's mainly divided into two main ethnic groups. These are the Greek Cypriots and the Turkish Cypriots. The Greek Cypriots form the majority of the population. They actually comprise roughly of about 78% of the whole population of Cyprus. And primarily they follow the Greek Orthodox Church religion. Turkish Cypriots form roughly 18% of the population, and are primarily Sunni Muslims. So Greek Cypriots, the majority of the Greek Cypriot population in Greece are followers of the Orthodox Church. They speak Cypriot Greek with some differences from standard modern Greek. Many Greek Cypriots also have close ties with Greece and share many cultural traits with the people of Greece, which are the Greeks. They are known for their hospitality and friendliness. Turkish Cypriots now. So the majority of the we've already said followers of the Muslim religion. They also speak of a dialect of Turkish called Cypriot Turkish, which has been influenced by the foreign language that includes Greek and English. They have close ties with Turkey and share cultural traits with the main inhabitants of the country of Turkey, which is the Turks. There are also much of smaller minority groups that live within the country of Cyprus, and these include Americans and Latins. Right, so here are the main religions. So Eastern Orthodoxy is sort of the main religion of Cyprus. This is followed by about 74.52% of the population. This is followed by the Greek Orthodox Church of Cyprus being the dominant branch. You then have Islam that has a 2.12% share of the population. This is actually the second largest religious group within the country of Cyprus, that's mainly practiced by the Turkish Cypriot community. Then we have the Roman Catholic, who have a 1.5% share of the population of Cyprus. And this Christian community is a very small community, and that is often referred to as Latin Catholics. Other religious groups within Cyprus have a much smaller share of the population. These include the religions of Buddhism and Sikhism and other various religious groups. There is a small amount of the population of Cyprus that has a total of 1.4% share of the population, and this share of the population actually identifies as having no religious affiliation. There are other Christian denominations that have a small portion of the population of Cyprus, and these include the Armenian Astropods and Anglicans. So Cyprus, so here goes. Cyprus is a diverse culture shape. This is shaped due to its location, as we've already discussed, between the crossroads between of Asia, Europe, Asia, and Africa. This blend has resulted in a cultural blend of other two ethnic communities. Family life is central with strong bonds and extended family support. There is also a strong connection with hospitality, sense of community. They all form a part of a very strong and prominent cultural values. We've already discussed the religion. So the language, I will discuss that in more detail in a few moments. But the Greek Cypriots speak a dialect of the language of Greek. They also share cultural connections with the country of mainland Greece. Traditional practices include Easter celebrations and the celebrations of a festival. The younger generation in Cyprus embraces global trends such as fashion and entertainment, but they also maintain the traditional Cypriot Greek Cypriot or Turkish Greek Cypriot traditions as well. The Turkish community of Cyprus celebrates traditional Muslim holidays and has its own his own their own and has their own tradition and has its own papers and stuff. But the Turkish Cypriots in Cyprus speak the language of Turkish, and they also uphold traditional Turkish traditions, but they also incorporate elements of Cypriot traditions and Western influences. They also share a number of traits, such as family, hospitality, community celebration, and cuisine. So here's a few attractions that I've chosen that I thought if you ever went to Cyprus and you were thinking of somewhere to go, if you wanted to experience a bit of Cypriot history, whatever, these are some attractions that I think you can visit. So the first one I've chosen is something that is called the Tomb of the Kings, and this is located in the region of Paphos. So imagine yourself surrounded by ancient tombs in a desert-like landscape where the only sounds are waves crashing on rocks. The Tomb of the Kings, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, contains a set of well-preserved underground tombs and chambers used by residents of near Paphos during the Hellenistic and Roman periods, from the 3rd century BCE to the 3rd century AD. Despite its name, the tombs were not actually used by royalty. They earned the time from their grand appearance. It is located 2 kilometres north of Paphos. The tombs are unique in Cyprus, being heavily influenced by ancient Egyptian traditions, where it was believed that tombs for the dead should resemble houses for the living. The 7 excavated tombs are scattered over a wide area. The most impressive is the tomb that is given the number 3, which is an open atrium below ground level surrounded by columns. Other tombs have niches built into the walls where bodies were stored. Most of the tomb treasures are long since spirited away by grave robbers. You also have local transport links such as buses that have 615 routes to Coral Bay, and it stops right outside the entrance. The entrance, and you pay, and it's fairly easy to pay to go on these buses. It's just €1.50, and they depart every 15 minutes from the harbour bus station. The second attraction is something called ancient Akimori. And this is located in Cyprus. So settlement and Kamori dates back as far as 1800 BC. The city rose to providence when it became a large copper producing centre during the late Bronze Age. What remains of the present site dates back from around 1200 BCE, where the rectangular grid layout was established and its fine public buildings were erected. So here goes, I'll tell you a bit more. The widespread site is 202 kilometres west from the Church of the Apostle Village along the same road. The city was known for its high standard of living and its wealthy merchants who conducted trade as agents of appearing slabs found at Egypt contained promises of copper to the pharaoh from the king of Assyria in return for silver and luxury items. A fire and at least 2 earthquakes led to the decline of the city, and then its inland harvest sitting up. Some speculate that its late residents headed to the coast and found Samara. Much of the site had been looted, but many of its tombs were said to have held gold, ivory, and exquisite Marcionian pottery. The southern end of the site, nearest the ticket office, that is located nearest to the ticket office, is where excavation in the early 20th century unearthed some of the most important finds. So that is a bit about that one. And then lastly, we have the Turkish Quarter. Strolling the streets of the old Turkish neighbourhood of Saklia, spelled Skeala, is a glimpse into the Cyprus of old. This quaint district is a watercolour-worthy scene of cottages with peeling white wash-coloured window shutters and flower pot-studded doorways. Road signs here still carry their Turkish names, a reminder of mixed community before 1974. Today, the quarter is being revived by the clutch of massive workshops that have made Spilka their home, giving the area a distinct bohemian edge. So the flag of Cyprus now, I've got a picture of the flag behind me. So I've already said what it colours, so what it represents and stuff. So the background, white, this is a symbolisation of peace. Island outline, olive branches, the 2 green olive branches below the island are also so a symbol of peace. The ratio of the flag's width is to length ratio is 3:5. It's 3:5. Right, so the Cyprus flag of today, like the one behind me, was adapted in the year of 1960. Right, so here goes. The white field. This is a representation of peace and serenity. It also reflects the desire for tranquility amongst the island's diverse communities. Copper-coloured map. The map of Cyprus in copper symbolises the island's name of Cyprus, which is actually derived from the Greek word for copper, and the historical importance of copper mining in Cyprus. Olive branches. So the international symbol of peace, and they represent the hope for reconciliation and harmony between the Greek and Turkish Cypriot populations. The flight time from between the UK and Cyprus is 4 hours 35 minutes, and the time difference between the UK and Cyprus is 2 hours ahead of the UK. Food now, so here goes. So the cuisine of Cyprus, the whole country of Cyprus, features a blend of Mediterranean, Greek, Turkish, and Middle Eastern flavours. Halloumi, cheese, kafla, and maize are popular dishes. The island also boasts a lot of fresh seafood, particularly in fishing villages. So here are some dishes to look for in more detail. So first dish is halloumi. This is a semi-hardened salt cheese made from a combination of sheep and goat's milk. It is often fried and grilled or grilled. Slovaki or soba, and this is a dish that consists of grilled meat kebabs, often served with pita bread. The next dish is kafafa. This is a slow-cooked lamb or goat served with potatoes, tomatoes, and onions. And this is a dish that is traditionally cooked within a clay oven. Maize. This is a large selection of small cold and hot appetizers, including dips, salads, grilled meats, and seafood. Next, we have a Cypriot sausage that is typically grilled and served as a street food. Next, we have a pork dish that is marinated in red wine and coriander and then stewed. Next, we have a rich lamb or rabbit stew that is often served with red wine and vegetables. Next, we have an oven-baked dish that is very similar to the Greek moussaka, that is made with layers of eggplant, meat, and Belmarsh sauce. Next, we have a Cypriot version of a Greek dish, which is a baked pasta dish with minced meat and Belmarsh sauce. So here we go now. So lastly of all, I want to talk to you now about the language of Cyprus. So after the Turkish occupation of the northern part of the country in 1974, this resulted in Cyprus being split with two linguistic states, the Turkish-speaking north and the south, which speak both Greek and Turkish. Greek Cypriots have a distinct dialect, but standard modern Greek is under the official government business. Turkish Cypriots speak Turkish, even in a distinct dialect, although this is not as far from Turkish standard as Cypriot Greece is from Greek standard. That is partly the reason for this is because of Cyprus's separation from mainland Greece in the late Middle Ages for hundreds of years. Arabs and Armenians on the island likewise tend to speak Greek Cypriot. These communities were forced to pick either the language or Turkish of Greek or between the language of Turkish and Greek as part of the new consultation in the year 1960. With this in mind, they tried to preserve their own languages as well. Other notable languages spoken in the south, in the southern region of the country of Cyprus include English, Russian, and Armenian. And though it is estimated a huge percentage of the population of the southern region of Cyprus, that equates to around 76%, can actually speak some form of English. Although English is less popular than Greek or Turkish, it is a language that is very widely used in many areas, specifically those who in areas that have high tourism numbers. Um, so English is the main language of instruction within Cypriot schools. Um, within Cypriot schools. So that concludes this month's episode of the Butterfly Princess Travel Lounge. I hope you've enjoyed this virtual tour of Cyprus. I hope you can join me next month for the next country that we will be visiting, but I won't be revealing that until the 4th of July, and that will be posted and revealed on the Butterfly Princess Show Facebook page a week before the episode goes out. So it will be posted on the 4th of July, and then the episode will be recorded and posted out onto the Butterfly Princess Show Facebook page and YouTube channel on the 11th of July. Until then, have a lovely rest of your week and have a lovely weekend, and I will see you all again very soon. Take care. Bye bye for now.